The screech of train brakes cuts through my chest, a blade twisting where a heart used to be. I'm standing on the platform at Central Station, and Marcus is walking away from me. Again. His shoulders are rigid, a familiar wall of coldness I've crashed against too many times, but this time something's different. This time I remember. A dizzying wave of déjà vu washes over me, so potent it nearly buckles my knees. The grimy platform, the scent of diesel and stale coffee, the way Marcus doesn't look back, not even once. It's all sickeningly familiar. My breath catches. This isn't just a bad dream, a recurring nightmare. This is real. I'm back. 3 years ago. The exact day my first life shattered into a million irreparable pieces. Flashes of that former existence, sharp and painful, pierce through the fog in my mind. The eviction notice taped to my apartment door, the stark white of the bankruptcy papers. The crushing weight of betrayal, a double blow from Marcus and Sarah, my best friend, the one I'd trusted with my soul. And finally, the sterile, indifferent walls of a hospital room, the beeping of machines counting down my last moments, dying alone while the news on the flickering television celebrated Marcus's latest triumph, an IPO built on my stolen dreams. "It's over, Emma." Marcus's voice, cold and dismissive, slices through the memory. He's stopped at the edge of the platform, half-turned, his expression a perfect mask of indifference. The exact same words he used last time, the ones that were the prelude to my destruction. "Don't contact me again." A tremor runs through me, a violent shudder that starts deep in my bones. It's not just fear, though. It's something else, a spark, a tiny, defiant ember in the ashes of my past self. I have a second chance. This isn't just a replay, it's a do-over, and this time I won't be the victim. This time, the script will change. The metallic taste of diesel fumes, a scent I've always associated with endings, now fills my lungs with a strange, empowering resolve. It mixes with the salty tang of my own tears, the ones I furiously blink back. I trembled then, a leaf in his storm. My world shattered, but now, something new ignited. In my first life, I'd chased after him, a pathetic, sobbing mess, begging for an explanation, for a sliver of the affection I thought we shared. My hand instinctively reaches for my phone, my thumb hovering over his contact. The muscle memory is strong, but the new memories, the knowledge of his ultimate deceit, are stronger. Instead of hitting call, instead of adding another humiliating scene to the highlight reel of my downfall, my finger moves to delete contact. A small, quiet act, but it feels monumental. A severing. He's disappearing into the throng of travelers now, just another faceless man. Good, let him go. He thinks he's walking away from a broken woman he's successfully discarded. He has no idea he's just unleashed a storm. My hand slips into the inner pocket of my worn trench coat, the one I remember wearing on this exact fateful day. My fingers close around a small, stiff rectangle of cardstock. I pull it out, my heart hammering against my ribs. Victoria Chen, CEO of Chen Innovations, my fiercest rival in my previous life. The woman I'd been conditioned to despise, to see as the enemy. The woman who, I now realize with a jolt, had probably been trying to warn me about Marcus all along. A slow smile, the first genuine one in what feels like an eternity, or perhaps just 3 years, spreads across my face. The train for my old, miserable life is leaving the station. But I, Emma Carter, am about to board a very different express. And this time, I'm the one driving. The game isn't over. It's just been reset. And I know all the cheat codes. I find a small, grimy table in the station cafe, the plastic surface sticky beneath my elbows. The roar of the trains, the cacophony of announcements, the hurried footsteps. It all fades into a dull hum as the floodgates of memory burst open. It's not just glimpses anymore, it's a torrent, a relentless deluge of Marcus's systematic destruction of my life. He hadn't just broken my heart, he'd meticulously dismantled me. My confidence, once a bright, burning thing, he'd doused with subtle criticisms, with faint praise that always left me feeling wanting. My business connections, painstakingly cultivated, he'd subtly undermined, planting seeds of doubt about my capabilities, my vision. He'd made me dependent on him, isolated me, all while whispering sweet nothings about our future, our empire. The bitter coffee the waitress slams down in front of me burns my tongue. The acrid taste a sharp, unwelcome anchor to this new, terrifying reality. I take a gulp, letting the scalding liquid sear away the last vestiges of the weak, naive Emma. A particularly vivid flashback recoiled through me. The day of my big startup pitch, the one for Innovate Solutions. My baby, the culmination of years of work. I remember practicing for weeks, my presentation flawless, my projections ambitious but achievable. Marcus had been so supportive, or so I thought. He'd even helped me refine the final slides the night before. Then, during the pitch, in front of a room full of potential investors, the presentation had inexplicably glitched. Key data was missing, slides were out of order, and a crucial financial projection showed a catastrophic error I hadn't made. I'd fumbled, flustered, my confidence crumbling under the weight of their skeptical gazes. The investors had walked. Later, I'd discovered Marcus had accidentally uploaded an older, corrupted version of the file. An accident. Right. Then came the stolen business plan. My detailed 5-year strategy for Innovate Solutions. The one I'd kept under lock and key, the one only Marcus had access to. A month after my disastrous pitch, a new company, Future Corp, emerged helmed by an unknown entity with a business plan that was a mirror image of mine, only slicker, better funded. Future Corp, of course, was Marcus. He'd used my ideas, my research, my very soul, and presented it as his own stroke of genius. And Sarah, my best friend, Sarah. The memory of her betrayal seized my breath, a cold hand squeezing my lungs. While I was crying on her shoulder, devastated by Marcus's sudden coldness and my business collapsing, she was already sleeping with him. They'd planned it all. He got my business, she got my fiancé. The ultimate power couple built on the ruins of my life. The wedding photos had been splashed across social media a year later, Sarah radiant in white, Marcus beaming by her side. I'd seen them from my cramped, depressing studio apartment, the one I could barely afford after the bankruptcy. My previous death scene plays out with chilling clarity. I'm lying in that sterile hospital bed, the flimsy gown doing little to ward off the cold. Pneumonia, the doctors had said, a complication from stress and malnutrition. Ironic, isn't it? I'd poured everything into Innovate Solutions, forgetting to eat, to sleep, to live. And for what? To die alone, watching Marcus on the news, his face smug and triumphant as he rang the opening bell for Future Corp's IPO. His company, built on my stolen ideas, was now worth billions. My last thought had been a bitter, futile wish for a chance to make him pay, and then nothing, darkness. Until the screech of the train brakes. How did I get back? The question hammers at me. As I died, I remember clutching the silver locket around my neck, the one my grandmother had given me. "It's special, Emma," she'd always said, her eyes twinkling. "It holds more than just pictures." I dismissed it as sentimentality, but now, could it be? Could that locket, that piece of my past, be the key to this impossible present? A wave of dizziness washes over me, not from the memories this time, but from the sheer, staggering implication of it all. I don't just remember my past life. I remember the future. Every major business deal, every market fluctuation, every tech breakthrough, every political scandal for the next 3 years, it's all there, imprinted on my mind like a blueprint. The rise of certain stocks, the crash of others, the unexpected merger that would make some fortunes and break others. I know it all. A sharp, almost manic energy awakened within me. This isn't just a second chance to survive, it's a second chance to thrive, to reclaim what was stolen, to build an empire that will dwarf anything Marcus could ever dream of, and to make him and Sarah pay for every single tear, every sleepless night, every shattered hope. My hand trembles as I pull a napkin from the dispenser and fish a pen from my bag. The cheap paper is flimsy, but it will do. I start writing. Names, dates, companies, events. A frantic scrawl at first, then more measured, more deliberate. This isn't just a list, it's my roadmap, my arsenal, the foundation of my revenge and my resurrection. Just as I'm noting down the impending collapse of AeroCorp, a detail that will make early investors rich, my phone buzzes on the table. I glance at the screen. my blood running cold despite the fire in my veins. A text message from Sarah. Emma, honey, are you okay? Heard about you and Marcus. Call me. Let's do lunch. XOXO. The gall of her. The sheer, unadulterated hypocrisy. My fingers tighten around the pen, snapping it in two. Lunch. Oh, we'll do lunch, Sarah. And it will be a meal you'll never forget. The clatter of cutlery and the low hum of lunchtime chatter at the Gilded Spoon. Our usual spot feels like a scene from a play I've already watched, whose tragic ending I know by heart. Sarah sits opposite me, her brow furrowed with that expertly feigned concern I used to find so comforting. Now it just makes my skin crawl. Emma, you look tired, she says, her voice dripping with false sympathy. I was so shocked when I heard about you and Marcus. Are you holding up? I manage a watery smile, the kind I perfected in my previous life when trying to hide my crumbling world. It's been a lot, Sarah. Devastating, really. I let my voice crack just a little. Let her think I'm still the same fragile Emma. She reaches across the table, her perfectly manicured fingers briefly touching mine. Her rings, expensive ones Marcus likely bought her even then, glint under the restaurant lights. I'm so sorry. He can be such an idiot sometimes. What happened? Did he say why? She's fishing, of course, looking for intel, information she can relay back to her lover, her co-conspirator. I take a slow sip of water, buying myself a moment. He was just cold, said it was over, no real explanation. I dab at my eyes with a napkin, a gesture of pure performance. Honestly, Sarah, I think I'm done with the whole business thing too. Innovate solutions. It just feels tainted now. Maybe I'll just, I don't know, travel, find myself. A flicker of something, triumph, relief, crosses her face before she can school it back into an expression of concern. Oh, Emma, don't say that. You're brilliant. Don't let him take that from you, too. Liar. My internal monologue is a hiss. You're already sleeping with him, aren't you? You're probably wearing lingerie he bought while still telling me he loved me. The thought fuels the cold, hard resolve crystallizing in my chest. Maybe you're right, I say, offering a weak, dismissive wave of my hand. But right now, I just need some space. I glance at my watch. Oh, look at the time. I actually have to run. An old family matter. I stand, fumbling a little with my bag to enhance the image of a woman on the verge of collapse. Of course, honey, call me anytime. We'll get through this together, Sarah says, her voice oozing insincerity. Thanks, Sarah. You're a true friend, I reply, the words tasting like ash in my mouth. I walk out of the Gilded Spoon, not towards the solace of my empty apartment as I did in my past life, but towards a future I am now actively, aggressively shaping. My steps are firm, my head held high. The moment I'm out of her sight, the fragile facade drops. My expression hardens. The first move in this new game is about to be made. I pull out my phone and dial a number I know by heart, a number I'd almost called a dozen times in my previous life but never had the courage to. Victoria Chen's office. A crisp, professional voice answers. This is Emma Carter. I need to speak with Miss Chen. It's urgent. Tell her it's about Marcus Thorne and the Henderson acquisition. There's a brief pause, then, please hold, Miss Carter. The Henderson acquisition, a deal Marcus had boasted about securing in my past life, a key stepping stone for Future Corp. A deal that in this timeline, he hasn't even begun to lay the groundwork for. A deal I'm about to snatch from under his nose. Victoria Chen agrees to see me that evening. The restaurant she chooses is miles away from the Gilded Spoon in every sense. Sleek, minimalist, and exuding an aura of quiet power. The clink of champagne glasses and the murmur of discreet conversations form the backdrop to our meeting. Victoria herself is exactly as I remember, sharp, impeccably dressed in a silk blouse the color of midnight, her eyes intelligent and assessing. She looks surprised to see me, and even more surprised by my demeanor. The last time we'd encountered each other, at a disastrous industry conference, I'd been a flustered, defensive wreck, thoroughly outmaneuvered by her. Miss Carter, she says, her voice cool but not unkind. This is unexpected. Your message was intriguing. Miss Chen, I reply, meeting her gaze directly. I feel a new sense of calm, of calculated strength. Thank you for seeing me on such short notice. I believe we have mutual interests, specifically a mutual interest in ensuring Marcus Thorne doesn't always get what he wants. A flicker of amusement, or perhaps recognition in her eyes. Marcus Thorne is a formidable competitor, and if memory serves, a close associate of yours. Formerly close, I correct her smoothly. Circumstances have changed. I have information regarding his unethical business practices and his future plans, specifically the Henderson acquisition. I know he's planning to make a bid, and I know how to beat him to it. Victoria leans back, steepling her fingers. The silk of her blouse shimmers. And why would you share this information with me, Miss Carter? Your rival. Because I've learned that sometimes the enemy of my enemy can be a powerful ally. And because I have a proposition, a partnership. I bring the insider knowledge, you bring the resources and the existing infrastructure. Together, we can not only acquire Henderson, but also build something significant. I let that hang in the air, the unspoken promise of future triumphs. This is a maneuver I wouldn't have dreamed of before. I then lay out the specifics, the timeline, the key players Marcus intends to approach, the price point he's aiming for. Information he doesn't even know he's formulated yet in this timeline. Her eyes widen almost imperceptibly as I speak. I see respect dawning where suspicion once resided. When I'm finished, she's silent for a long moment, observing me. Then, she smiles, a genuine, predatory smile. Miss Carter, you continue to surprise me. Your information is compelling, and your proposal has merit. She extends a hand. All right, Emma, let's talk details. Let's strike. The clink of our champagne glasses sealing the deal is the sweetest sound I've heard in years. We spend the next hour outlining our strategy, a whirlwind of figures and projections, a dance of two sharp minds now aligned. As we're leaving, Victoria places a light hand on my arm. One more thing, Emma, be careful. I've already heard whispers. Marcus is telling people you're unstable, a woman scorned. He's trying to discredit you before you can become a threat. I nod, a cold fury hardening my resolve. I expected as much. Let him spread his rumors. He has no idea what's about to hit him. Unstable. Oh, Marcus, you have no idea. You've just awakened a phoenix. And she's learned to play with fire. 3 weeks. That's all it took. 3 weeks for Victoria Chen and me, armed with my foreknowledge and her company's agility, to quietly, efficiently, and completely legally acquire Henderson Corp. We finalized the papers yesterday, just days before Marcus, in his original timeline, would have even made his initial underhanded approach. He doesn't know it yet, but his first major stepping stone to empire has just vanished. In those same 3 weeks, I've been busy on other fronts. Using the detailed notes I'd scribbled in the station cafe, I made a series of small strategic investments in companies I knew were poised for a sudden surge. The profits are already rolling in, modest for now, but they're the seed money for my own venture, the one I'll build alongside Victoria, the one that will truly be mine. Phoenix Enterprises, I'm calling it. Apt, don't you think? The rumors Victoria warned me about have indeed started to circulate. Whispers in the industry, polite but pitying glances from former colleagues. Emma Carter? Such a shame. Heard she had a complete mental breakdown after the split with Thorne. Talking about conspiracies, lost her touch. Marcus, true to form, isn't just trying to win. He's trying to annihilate my reputation. He wants me not just beaten, but broken and discredited. He's in for a surprise. Tonight is the annual Tech Innovators Gala, a major networking event. In my past life, I'd avoided it, too humiliated by my recent failures and Marcus's swift rise. This time, it's the perfect stage for my re-entry. I step out of the cab, the cool night air a welcome contrast to the nervous heat coiling in my stomach. My new power suit, a sharp, tailored charcoal gray, feels like armor. The sharp perfume of 100 ambitious attendees mingling in the grand ballroom assaults my senses as I walk in. I spot Marcus almost immediately. He's holding court near the champagne fountain. Sarah clinging to his arm, her laughter a little too loud, a little too bright. They look like the golden couple. It makes me sick. He sees me. His eyes narrow, a flicker of surprise, then annoyance. Sarah's smile falters. Good, let them be uncomfortable. I don't approach them directly, instead, I circulate, greeting a few familiar faces, deliberately choosing those Marcus considers his key contacts. I'm calm, professional, my voice steady as I talk about my new consultancy, hinting at exciting projects on the horizon. I can feel Marcus's eyes on me, burning into my back. The confrontation when it comes is as public and as calculated as I expected from him. He intercepts me as I'm speaking to Mr. Abernathy, a venture capitalist I know Marcus has been courting. Emma, fancy seeing you here, Marcus says, his tone laden with false bonhomie, but his eyes are like chips of ice. Shouldn't you be resting? I heard you've been unwell. Sarah is beside him, her expression a carefully constructed mask of sympathy. We've been so worried about you, Emma. Mr. Abernathy looks from me to them, his brow furrowed. This is it. The moment Marcus intends to publicly humiliate me, to paint me as the hysterical, unstable ex. I offer a serene smile. Unwell? Not at all, Marcus. In fact, I've never felt better. Starting a new venture can be incredibly invigorating. New venture? Marcus scoffs, a condescending smirk playing on his lips. Still clinging to those old pipe dreams, Emma? Some things are best left to those who can actually handle them. The insult hangs in the air. The nearby conversations quieten. All eyes are on us. This is where the old Emma would have crumbled, either bursting into tears or lashing out defensively, proving his point. But I just tilt my head, my smile unwavering. Oh, it's not an old pipe dream, Marcus. It's very new and very real. In fact, I'm thrilled to be partnering with Victoria Chen. Perhaps you've heard of Chen Innovations? The name drops into the silence like a stone. Abernathy's eyebrows shoot up. Victoria Chen is a powerhouse, a respected, if feared name in the industry. Partnering with her is a statement. Marcus's smirk vanishes. His face pales, then flushes a dark, angry red. I can almost see the gears grinding in his head as he processes the information. Victoria Chen? Emma Carter? It doesn't compute. The shock is delicious. The barely concealed anger even more so. He dominated me before. Now, I orchestrated this. Chen? He stammers, his voice losing its confident timbre. You're working with Chen? Indeed, I say, my voice clear and bright. We've just finalized our first major project together. You might know it. Henderson Corp. His jaw tightens. The color drains completely from his face now. He knows. He knows he's lost Henderson. The rage in his eyes is potent, but he's trapped by the public setting. He can't explode here. He can't reveal that the unstable Emma Carter just outmaneuvered him on a multi-million-dollar deal. I see Sarah's confused glance at Marcus, a silent question in her eyes. She doesn't understand what just happened, but she knows it's bad for him. I reach into my clutch and pull out a sleek new business card. Phoenix Enterprises. Emma Carter, CEO. I extend it to Marcus, my smile sweet, almost pitying. Do keep in touch, Marcus. It's always so illuminating to see you. It's a quiet power move, a declaration. I've conquered this moment. He snatches the card, his knuckles white. He's seething. I give a polite nod to Mr. Abernathy, who is now looking at me with newfound respect, and turn to leave. As I walk away, my head held high, the buzz of renewed chatter follows me. It's no longer pitying whispers about my breakdown. It's intrigued speculation about my new alliance. Just as I reach the exit, my ears, now finely tuned to any hint of his machinations, pick up fragments of his hissed conversation. He's on his phone, his back to me, but his voice carries. Don't care how you do it. Handle the Emma problem. Permanently. A chill snakes down my spine, but it's quickly overpowered by a surge of adrenaline. The game is escalating. He's rattled. He's resorting to threats. Good. Let him. I'm ready. 2 months, 60 days of calculated moves, relentless work, and the sweet, intoxicating taste of small victories piling up. Phoenix Enterprises, my company, is no longer just a name on a business card. It's a tangible, thriving entity. Our new office, smelling of fresh paint and ambition, overlooks the city skyline. A daily reminder of how far I've come and how much further I intend to go. The market trends I'd memorized from my previous life are proving to be gold mines. We're agile, we're smart, and we're making waves. One of my more satisfying endeavors has been systematically poaching Marcus's top talent from Future Corp. It's surprisingly easy. My offers are not just financially better. I'm offering something Marcus never could: respect, vision, and a stake in something genuinely innovative, not just repackaged stolen ideas. His best software architect started with us last week. His head of marketing is meeting me for lunch tomorrow. The rats are deserting his sinking ship before he even realizes it's taking on water. The expected call from Sarah comes on a Tuesday afternoon. Her voice is saccharine, dripping with feigned concern. "Emma, darling! I've been hearing such amazing things about your new company. You're doing so well. I'm so proud of you." I lean back in my plush executive chair, the smooth marble of my new desk cool beneath my fingertips. "Thanks, Sarah. It's been a whirlwind." I keep my tone light, friendly. The recording app on my phone is already active, capturing every honeyed, deceitful word. "Listen," she continues, her voice dropping conspiratorially. "I was wondering, Marcus has been so stressed lately, so preoccupied. I barely see him. Is everything all right in the business world? You know, with your new venture and everything?" She's fishing again, as always, trying to gauge if my success is impacting him, trying to get intel for her fiancé. Yes, fiancé. She'd let that slip last week, a casual mention, as if she wasn't twisting a knife in my back with every syllable. "Marcus and I are engaged," she'd trilled. "Isn't it wonderful?" It's earlier than in the previous timeline. My actions, my rise, they're accelerating his plans, making him more desperate, more reckless. Good. "Oh, you know how it is, Sarah," I say, injecting a note of faux vulnerability. "Starting something new is always tough, lots of late nights. Sometimes I feel so alone in all this." I let a little sigh escape. Let her think I'm still susceptible to her manipulations. "Oh, sweetie, you're not alone. You have me," she coos. "We should really get together soon, properly, just us girls." "I'd like that," I lie smoothly. The recording continues. Every word she utters is another nail in her own coffin. The unease, however, isn't just a product of Sarah's calls. Last Thursday, there was a break-in attempt at the office. Nothing was stolen. The alarm scared them off, but my private office had been searched. Files rifled through, desk drawers opened. They were looking for something. I reviewed the security footage myself. The figures were cloaked in shadows, but the way one of them moved, a slight limp I remembered from a disgruntled former employee of Marcus's, one he'd used for his dirty work before, was unmistakable. He's getting sloppy. Or perhaps more desperate. It's time to set a trap. A carefully baited one. I spend the afternoon drafting a series of documents. A meticulously detailed, utterly fabricated business plan for a major acquisition. Project Nightingale, I call it. It outlines a bold, aggressive takeover of a promising but vulnerable tech firm, a move that, if real, would cripple one of Future Corp's key suppliers. I leave subtle clues, easily discoverable breadcrumbs that would lead anyone snooping to believe this plan is imminent and highly confidential. I print it on high-quality paper, bind it elegantly, and leave it in a locked drawer of my desk. A drawer with a notoriously easy-to-pick lock. The web is tightening. He ensnared me once with his lies. Now, my truths and his own paranoia will anticipate his every move, cornering him. The next step is to apply pressure from another angle. I have dinner with Ben Carter, no relation, unfortunately, though his byline is gold. A sharp, ambitious business journalist I'd cultivated a tentative professional relationship with. In my past life, he'd been one of the first to report on Future Corp's meteoric rise, unknowingly glorifying Marcus's theft. This time, he's going to tell a different story. Over seared scallops and hushed tones, I don't give him speculation or rumor. I give him facts. Documented instances of Marcus's early, unethical business practices. Minor enough not to be criminal then, but indicative of a pattern. Information about disgruntled former partners. A trail of broken promises. Not enough to bring Marcus down, not yet, but enough to tarnish his carefully crafted image, to raise questions, to make investors nervous. A quiet power move, a strategic leak. Ben's eyes gleam with journalistic fervor. He knows a good story when he smells it. The article appears online 3 days later. Marcus Thorne, genius innovator or ruthless opportunist. It's carefully worded, legally sound, but the implications are damning. It doesn't mention Phoenix Enterprises. It doesn't mention me. But the ripples are immediate. Future Corp's stock, which had just started its ascent, dips slightly. Whispers turn into concerned murmurs. I'm reviewing the quarterly projections for Phoenix, a satisfied smile on my face when my office door bursts open. No knock, no announcement from my assistant. Marcus storms in. His face is a mask of thunderous fury, his eyes blazing. The newspaper, crumpled in his fist, is practically shaking. You, he snarls, his voice raw with rage. This is your doing, isn't it, you vindictive bitch? I lean back in my chair, my expression calm, almost bored. Marcus, to what do I owe this dramatic entrance? He slams the crumpled newspaper onto my marble desk. Don't play innocent with me, Emma. This has your slime all over it. You're trying to ruin me. The bait is taken. The fish is thrashing on the line. My trap and his own temper are working perfectly. The real confrontation is about to begin. And this time, I'm the one holding all the cards. Ruin you, Marcus? I ask, my voice a silken thread in the charged air of my office. An interesting choice of words. Is your empire so fragile that a single newspaper article can threaten it? I gesture towards the recording device, subtly positioned on my desk, its tiny red light glowing almost imperceptibly. He's too enraged to notice. He stalks closer, leaning over my desk, his face inches from mine. The scent of his expensive cologne, a scent I once found intoxicating, now reeks of deceit. This isn't just an article, Emma. This is a declaration of war. You've been sabotaging my deals, poaching my employees, spreading lies. Lies? I raise an eyebrow. Everything in that article is verifiable public record, Marcus. Or perhaps easily corroborated by any number of people you've disappointed over the years. As for your deals and employees, maybe they're just seeking better opportunities. A more ethical environment, perhaps? He tries to gaslight me, his voice dropping to a menacing hiss. You're obsessed, Emma. You can't stand to see me succeed, especially not with Sarah. You're delusional. This is all in your head. You need help. The old Emma would have flinched, doubted herself. The new Emma merely smiles. Delusional. Let's talk about delusions, Marcus. Was it a delusion that you were having an affair with Sarah, my best friend, while you were still swearing you loved me? Was it a delusion that you systematically stole my business plan for Innovate Solutions and repackaged it as Future Corp? Was your fraudulent bid for the Henderson account, the one I thankfully intercepted, also a product of my supposed delusion? Each question is a hammer blow, chipping away at his composure. His mask finally, irrevocably slips. The carefully constructed facade of the charming businessman shatters, revealing the snarling, entitled predator beneath. So what if I did? He spits, his eyes burning with a venomous hatred. You were weak, naive. You had good ideas, I'll give you that, but you didn't have the guts to make them happen. I did. And Sarah? She saw a winner. She chose me. I never loved you, Emma. You were a means to an end. Your connections, your pathetic trust. It was all just too easy. There it is. The confession I'd craved. The validation of every suspicion. Every heartbreak from my past life. It doesn't bring the pain I expected, though. Just a cold, satisfying clarity. And the quiet hum of the recording device, capturing every damning word. This is the moment I unleashed my full power. Easy, was I? I say softly, my voice dangerously calm. Well, this might not be so easy for you, Marcus. I reach into my desk drawer and retrieve a sleek silver flash drive. My trump card. This contains documentation of every illegal activity you've undertaken in the last 3 years. The real Henderson bid, the one with the falsified numbers. The offshore accounts. The insider trading. The evidence of your attempt to break into this office. Even your little chat with your associate about handling the Emma problem permanently. It's all here. His face contorts, a grotesque mixture of shock, disbelief, and dawning terror. He lunges for the flash drive, his composure completely gone. You wouldn't dare! I snatch it back, standing my ground. He's bigger than me, stronger. He tries to physically intimidate me, backing me against the wall, his hands gripping my shoulders, his face a mask of fury. Give it to me, Emma! For a fleeting second, a flicker of the old fear. But it's extinguished by the sound of the door opening. Victoria strides in, flanked by two burly building security guards. Her timing, as always, is impeccable. Is there a problem here, Emma? Victoria asks, her voice like ice, her eyes fixed on Marcus. Marcus releases me, stumbling back, his bravado deflating. He's trapped, outmaneuvered, demolished. This isn't over, Emma, he seethes as the guards firmly take his arms. You'll pay for this. I'll destroy you, both of you. His threats echo down the hallway as he's escorted out, a sputtering, impotent volcano of rage. The silence he leaves behind is profound. I take a deep, shuddering breath, the adrenaline metallic on my tongue. I sink back into the soft leather of my chair, feeling a wave of exhaustion, but also a profound sense of liberation. Victoria walks over, a rare smile on her face. Well, she says, picking up the flash drive from my desk, that was dramatic. Are you all right? I nod, a slow smile spreading across my own face. More than all right, Victoria. I'm finally free. We clink imaginary champagne glasses. A silent toast to a battle hard won. But I know Marcus. He's a cornered animal. He won't give up easily. He'll strike back somehow. Later that evening, after sending a copy of Marcus's recorded tirade and the contents of the flash drive anonymously to Ben Carter, the journalist, my personal phone buzzes. An unknown number, a blocked ID. I answer, a knot of apprehension tightening in my stomach. Silence. Then a distorted electronic voice, cold and devoid of emotion. You think you've won, Emma, but this is far from over. Watch your back. The line goes dead. The threat hangs in the quiet of my apartment. A chilling reminder that while one battle might be won, the war is far from over. He's still out there. And he's desperate. 6 months, half a year since Marcus's dramatic exit from my office, half a year since that chilling, anonymous threat. In that time, Phoenix Enterprises hasn't just survived, it has flourished. My future knowledge, combined with Victoria's shrewd business acumen and our team's relentless innovation, has propelled us into the stratosphere. We're not just a player in the tech industry anymore. We're a force, dictating trends, acquiring smaller competitors, and posting profits that make Wall Street sit up and take notice. The lavender scent from the diffuser in my new, even larger penthouse office is a constant, calming presence, a far cry from the diesel fumes of my past. Ben Carter's expose, fueled by the recordings and documents I'd provided, had been a bombshell. The Thorn tapes, a Titan's tumble, was the headline. It didn't just tarnish Marcus's reputation, it incinerated it. Investors pulled out, board members resigned, and Future Corp's stock plummeted into penny stock territory. Marcus was radioactive. The call from Sarah comes on a rainy Monday morning. It's not the confident, manipulative Sarah of before. Her voice is thin, reedy, choked with tears. Emma, please. You have to help me. I listen, my expression unreadable, as she pours out a sordid tale of Marcus's escalating paranoia, his verbal abuse, his controlling behavior. He's broke, his assets frozen pending investigations, and he's taking it all out on her. Part of me, a tiny, buried fragment of the old Emma, feels a flicker of sympathy. But then I remember her face, alight with triumph, as she stood by Marcus's side while my world burned. The weight of my grandmother's locket, always around my neck, feels heavier, a reminder of betrayals past and futures reclaimed. He's become a monster, Emma, she sobs. He blames me for everything. He blames you. He's obsessed with bringing you down. And what do you want from me, Sarah? I ask, my voice even. A way out, she whispers. Please. I made a mistake, a terrible mistake. I see that now. He manipulated both of us. There it is. The desperate plea. The attempt to rewrite history, to cast herself as another victim. But perhaps there's a sliver of truth there. And more importantly, an opportunity. I can offer you a job, Sarah, I say, the offer hanging in the air. A junior position at Phoenix, a chance to start over, but it comes with a condition. Anything, she breathes. I need evidence, Sarah. Concrete proof of Marcus's ongoing illegal activities. Anything he's planning now. You bring me that. Something tangible the authorities can use, and the job is yours. Along with a very generous severance package from your current situation. A pause, then a hesitant, I think I can do that. He's been careless. Talking on the phone, leaving papers around. He's planning something against you. He calls it his Phoenix downfall plan. My blood runs cold. Of course he is. He wouldn't just fade away. Find out what it is, Sarah. Get me the details, and then we can talk about your future. It takes her a week. A tense, nerve-wracking week where I half expect Marcus to make some desperate public move. But then Sarah calls back, her voice a mixture of fear and furtive excitement. She has it. Marcus, in his arrogance and desperation, is planning to frame me for corporate espionage. He's fabricated emails, created false digital trails, all designed to make it look like Phoenix Enterprises achieved its success by stealing proprietary code from a struggling competitor, a company he's secretly propping up for this very purpose. He plans to leak it to the press and the SEC simultaneously. It's a desperate, clumsy plan, but potentially damaging if executed well. Now, however, armed with Sarah's information copies of the fabricated emails, recordings of Marcus outlining his scheme to an associate, I can turn it back on him. He orchestrated his own downfall. I'm merely helping him complete the performance. I use the information to set the final trap, a fake business meeting, supposedly with a representative of the company Marcus is using in his frame-up. The representative is, of course, one of my own trusted security consultants. Marcus, believing he's about to receive the final piece of evidence he needs to plant on my servers, will walk right into it. The entire meeting will be recorded, audio and video. The night before the staged meeting, as I stand looking out at the glittering cityscape from my office, my fingers trace the outline of the locket. It feels warm against my skin. A sense of calm settles over me. This isn't just about revenge anymore. It's about justice. It's about ensuring that men like Marcus Thorne can no longer prey on the dreams of others. It's about building an empire where integrity and innovation reign. My quiet power move is made with a single anonymous call the next morning to a contact I've cultivated within the federal investigation agencies. I provide just enough information-specific, verifiable details about Marcus's ongoing fraudulent activities and his imminent plan to destroy evidence. The call ends. The stage is set. The next afternoon, as Marcus is holed up in his rapidly emptying Future Corp office, frantically trying to shred documents and wipe hard drives before his Phoenix downfall plan is launched, he hears a commotion outside his door. Sharp, authoritative knocks. Marcus Thorne, this is the FBI. Open the door. The sound of sirens wails in the distance, growing closer. Checkmate. 1 year to the day. 1 year since I stood on that grimy platform at Central Station, a broken woman watching her life walk away. Today I watch the news on a sleek flat screen in my office, a different kind of departure unfolding. Marcus Thorne, his face pale and haggard, his expensive suit rumpled, is being led away in handcuffs from the Future Corp building. The ticker at the bottom of the screen scrolls through the litany of federal charges: fraud, embezzlement, conspiracy, corporate espionage. The Phoenix downfall plan had indeed come to pass, just not in the way he'd envisioned. My company, Phoenix Enterprises, is now valued at over $100 million. We built it ethically, innovatively, on the ashes of my stolen dreams and the strength of my reclaimed future. It's a testament to what can be achieved when talent is nurtured, not exploited. Sarah works for me now. She started in a junior role, quiet, humbled, and genuinely grateful. She's proven to be surprisingly adept, hardworking, and fiercely loyal. The betrayals of the past haven't been forgotten, but a new, cautious friendship has begun to bloom. She understands now the true cost of Marcus's manipulations. She's rebuilding her life just as I did. Sometimes second chances are for everyone. This evening, Victoria and I are at the same sleek minimalist restaurant where our partnership began. We clink champagne glasses, a genuine celebration this time. To Phoenix Enterprises, Victoria says, her eyes shining with pride and a touch of the old predatory gleam. And to its indomitable CEO. To us, I correct her, smiling. We did this together. Later, as I look out at the city lights, I reflect on the journey. The rebirth hadn't just been about revenge, though the downfall of Marcus Thorne brings a certain grim satisfaction. It was about becoming the woman I was always meant to be, strong, resilient, a leader. The fire of his betrayal had forged me anew. I had transcended the victim he tried to make me. I had transformed. I had triumphed. My phone buzzes. It's Ben Carter, the journalist. He wants an exclusive interview. Emma Carter, the meteoric rise of a tech empress. He wants to know my secrets, the story behind my incredible success. I smile. Perhaps one day I'll tell it. But for now, some secrets are best kept. I realize with a jolt that I've created something bigger than just personal revenge or financial success. Phoenix Enterprises is changing the industry, setting new standards for ethical conduct and innovation. That, perhaps, is the greatest victory of all. The next morning, I find myself back at Central Station. The air is thick with the familiar scent of diesel fumes and stale coffee. But today, it doesn't smell like endings. It smells like freedom. The cacophony of train announcements and hurried footsteps doesn't feel overwhelming. It sounds like the vibrant pulse of possibility, like victory. I'm not the broken, weeping woman Marcus left behind on this platform. I'm Emma Carter, CEO. A woman who faced her past, rewrote her future, and saved herself. My train is announced. Not an escape this time, but a journey towards a new venture, a new challenge. Phoenix Enterprises is secure, thriving under Victoria's capable day-to-day leadership, freeing me to explore new horizons. My quiet power move is to board that train, not looking back, only forward. As I settle into my seat, the train pulling smoothly away from the station, my fingers instinctively go to the locket around my neck. It's warm, almost humming with a faint energy. And then I see it, a soft, ethereal glow emanating from within the silver casing. My grandmother's words echo in my mind. It holds more than just pictures. It was the key. The locket was the key to my rebirth, to this impossible second chance. A wave of understanding, profound and peaceful, washes over me. This isn't just the end of one story, it's the beginning of many. The locket glows softly, a silent promise of empires yet to be built, of futures yet to be written. And I, Emma Carter, am ready to write them.